Good afternoon and happy Thursday, everyone. It is Scott Wohlers with River Place Capital. It is Thursday, August the 5th, and just wanted to talk a little bit what we saw in markets last week, kind of what we see in markets moving ahead, talk a little bit about corporate earnings and what we've seen so far out of corporate earnings, and then are we in for some increased volatility and are there some warning signs out there in the market? And want to talk about that. So last week was a pretty flattish week. The S&P 500 finished the week down 50 basis points on the week. However, the small and mid cap indices actually outperformed, playing a bit of catch up as they have been the leadership for most of the year up until last week, or the last couple of weeks, as the S&P 500 has taken over the leadership mantle there. However, they have rebounded and recovered and had strong weeks last week. And we are right in the heart of earnings season. We have seen most of the or a good majority of the companies of the S&P 500 report earnings. About 2/3 of the S&P 500 have reported earnings so far, and 88% of companies are meeting or beating expectations set forth by analysts on Wall Street, which is a record number, which is a huge number, which is wonderful to see. Corporations are beating these expectations, and they're beating them on an average of 17%. So they're really blowing out the earnings. However, everyone in the market is taking those earnings and they're taking them with a little bit of hesitancy, understanding, wanting to know what the outlook is for the rest of the year and how supply costs and inflation are impacting their business trends. And so what you're seeing as some of these companies report is you're seeing solid earnings and revenues come in, yet these companies are being sold off after hours and the day after or the day of that they report. And a lot of that has to do with their outlook and what they're talking about, whether they're talking about margin pressures and things along those lines. And you're seeing those markets really, you're seeing the marketplace really sell those names off and really take some valuation out of those names after they report. And one of the interesting things that we've seen over the last couple of weeks is as we continue to get data in, we know that inflation is here. The debate now is it transitory or is it not? And it's too soon to tell whether it's going to be more long-term or more transitory. But typically what you're going to see as you're getting more inflationary data in and higher inflationary numbers is you see a 10-year Treasury yield that will actually increase and go up as inflation goes up. However, over the last couple of months, what we have seen is Treasury yields fall from a peak of 1.7 back in March all the way down to 1.12 this week and touching the lows of July. And typically the bond market is a great predictor of volatility in the marketplace. So as we're talking right now, we are sitting at all-time highs on the equity markets. The Nasdaq's right now at an all-time high. The S&P, if it closes positive today, will be at an all-time high, and the Dow's right there as well. But one of the underlying factors that has us in the investment, or us at River Place, a little bit concerned about some short-term volatility is that fall in the 10-year Treasury yield as the yields have come down. So we expect, and typically between August and October anyway, those are some more volatile months in the stock market anyway. So we do expect to see some increased volatility in the marketplace. However, we would encourage you, and I would encourage you to look at any volatility in the marketplace as a buying opportunity. Companies that are reporting record numbers of cash on hand. There's over $5 trillion sitting on the sidelines right now in money market funds in the United States alone. So businesses and consumers are flush with cash right now. And like we've seen every time that there's been a 3% pullback very quickly in the markets recover very quickly because we are awash with liquidity. So take advantage of those pullbacks, make that a great entry point into the market, and take advantage of that as we continue to march higher. So as any time, if you have questions, feel free to call us. We're easy to talk to. We love to talk about this with you. You can reach us at 904-346-3460, or as always, check us out online at www.riverplacecapital.com. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks so much.